Welcome. Welcome everyone. Today we are here again. Our today's topic is MCQ from Anglo-Saxon and Norman age. We will go till the age of Chaucer, but age of Chaucer will be continued in next chapter. This segment will be divided into two parts. First are some questions from both ages, and the second part again will in the next part. Total there are around 100 questions. In the first segment, we will cover somewhere around 40 questions. These questions will be covering MCQ and their a small summary or why these points are important in literature. Here we have our segment that is MCQs from Anglo-Saxon and Normans, part 1. The first question is, which language was primarily used in Anglo-Saxon England? Four options are there: Latin, Old English, French, and Celtic. Answer is Old English. Old English is one of the most important question. Several times it is asked, and we should know its background that it was spoken mainly in Old English. It evolved from Germanic dialects brought by Anglo-Saxon around 5th century. Old English was dominant language for literature, law, daily life until the Norman conquest in 1066, when French and Latin gained more prominence. So the second, that is Anglo-Normans, we have influence of French and Latin in England. The next question, which Anglo-Saxon king is known for promoting learning and literacy? King Arthur, King Alfred, King Harold, King Achilles. And the most important is Alfred the King. Several poems are written on him. Even Tennyson wrote a very renowned poem on it. So this king is also most important. You cannot leave this poet. You can read the details about him in the segment below. Which manuscript contain most of the surviving Anglo-Saxon poetry? Here are four options: Book of the Kells, Extra Book, Linsfar, and Domesday Book. And answer is Extra. And this is the most surviving manuscript of Anglo-Saxon poetry. And you can read more details about it in the segment that we have below. You can even take its screenshot. The term for a traveling poet or a storyteller in Anglo-Saxon culture is minstrel, bard, scoop, traveler. And answer is scout. This was the detail that we have below. You can easily read it. A traveling poet or a storyteller who composed, recited heroic poem or historical tales. Which of these is a key feature of Anglo-Saxon poetry? Rhymed couplet, alliterative verse, sonnet form, blank verse. So that is a literary linguistic question, and answer is alliterative verse. Is a key feature where repetition of the initial consonant sound links the line. The stylistic device was central to the oral tradition, aiding memorization and performance. Unlike rhyme, alliteration structured the rhyme and emphasized meaning in the poem, like Beowulf and other English parts. Which work is considered the earliest example of epic poetry? This is easy question, and we already know epic is considered the first epic of English literature, so answer is Beowulf. How does the concept of fate influence the character of Anglo-Saxon literature? It promotes rebellion. It is often seen as inevitable. Encourages good. It is irrelevant. So answer is often seen as inevitable, and fate is also called as viewed as inevitable and governs the life of all character. Heroes like Beowulf accept their destiny with courage and honor, believing that their fate is preordained. This belief shapes their action, emphasizing duty, bravery, and transient nature of life. Who is the author of Anglo-Saxon Chronicle? It is simply direct question. If you know the answer, you know. So answer unknown. We do not know who wrote it, but Anglo-Saxon Chronicle is is a collection of annals documenting early English history. You can also check all other details by taking the screenshot in the section. Which work is example of an elegy in Anglo-Saxon literature? We have options: Beowulf, Seafarer, Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, Wolf and Adversaire. And answer is Seafarer. What is the significance of the sea as a motif in Anglo-Saxon poetry? Symbol of wealth, danger and journey, peace and home. It is a symbol of danger and journey. In Anglo-Saxon poetry, the sea often symbolizes both danger and a profound journey. It represents life, hardship, spiritual quest, and exile. Works like Seafarer depicts ocean as a vast, cold, unpredictable force, reflecting the emotional turmoil and existential struggles of human condition in the early English literature. What is the significance of white? It is fate, strength, wisdom, war. The question already we have covered earlier. So answer is fate. Beowulf and others examples are also covered earlier. What is the central to both seafarer and wanderer? Greed, isolation and longing, betrayal, love, and answer is isolation and longing. The central theme of both of these poems is isolation and longing. These elegiac poems reflect on the emotional and physical solitude experienced by speakers. The mourn lost companionship and stability, portraying a deep yearning for connection, meaning, and spiritual solace in hard and uncertain world. Which work contains the famous line? And this is a line type of question. If you know, you know. Otherwise, you have to leave it when it comes to UGC net. Which work contains the famous line, "Whilst I live, I never did know ill"? And answer is Wanderer. In Dream of the Road, what is the road? A king, a cross, a warrior, a river? A very simple general question. Answer is the road. A cross on which Christ was crucified. It is personified and speaks in the poem, describe its role in the Passion. As a central symbol, the road blends Christian sacrifice with heroic imagery, reflecting fusion of faith and warrior culture. Primary theme of Wolf and Adversaire: loyalty, exile and longing, war and betrayal. Answer is exile and longing. The primary theme of Wolf and Adversaire is exile and longing. The enigmatic Old English poem convey the emotional turmoil of speakers separated from her lover, Wolf. Through fragmented expressions of desire, isolation, and sorrow, the poem captures deep pain of separation and yearning for the lost connection. Again, the line question, if you know, you know, otherwise you have to left it. So the line, "So was the last time I saw them," is from the poem The Wanderer, that signifies grief and loss. So hope, grief, loss, we know wanderer is elegiac, so answer is that simple. What is the Dream of Road about? A knight's quest, crucifixion of Christ. That is simply, we speak last time, crucifixion of Christ from the cross perspective. And in the visionary poem, Road speaks of its role in Christ sacrificing, blending Christian theme with heroic imagery. It presents Jesus as a noble warrior and cross as a loyal, suffering companion. What famous line does the speaker of Seafarer use to express his journey? Answer: sea is a friend, sea is my companion, I long for my home, the waves carry me home. And answer: I long for home. That is simple. If you read the poem, you know the answer. Otherwise, it is just for. What does the sea represents in Seafarer? The question, I think, is repeated again, so I'll skip it. What is the setting of seafarer, a city, ocean, forest, castle. We know that city is, that poem is on ocean, so ocean is its setting. The seafarer, what does the speaker long for? Wealth, adventure, home, revenge, and answer home. Seafarer, the speaker long for home, not just for a physical place, but as a symbol of peace, stability, and spiritual being. Despite being drawn to the sea of hardship, he yearns for comfort and familiarity of home, reflecting his inner conflict between worldly exile and divine yearning. What does the road symbolize? Death, resurrection, betrayal, sacrifice, and answer is sacrifice. As the cross on which Christ was crucified, it becomes a powerful witness to his suffering. The poem portrays the road as a loyal, suffering servant sharing Christ's pain and glorification, his ultimate act of selfless sacrifice for humanity's salvation. What does the Christianity play in the road? It completely absent. It emphasizes the duality of Christ and sacrifice. It promotes pagan belief. It serves as a historical account. It emphasizes the duality of Christ, both divine and heroic. The poem portrays Christ as a courageous warrior embracing death to save humanity, merging Christian theology with Anglo-Saxon heroic values, thus depending the spiritual emotional resonance of crucifixion. Again, the line question from the Dream of Road, the cross was adorned with gold. I saw the glory. Death is a gift. I mourn the lost. I saw the tree of glory is the line. If we know, we know. In the wonder, what does the speaker mourn? Lost love, the death of his Lord and companion, wealth, war. And answer is death of his Lord and companion. The wonder, the speaker mourns the death of his Lord and companion, which leaves him in deep isolation and sorrow. Their loss signifies the collapse of his social world and identity, reflecting the Anglo-Saxon values of loyalty and kinship. His grief underscores poem themes of exile, memory, and impermanence. What is the main setting of Dream of Road? A battlefield, prose. Again, very simple question. Which poem do we find the line, so man must do his best? Again, it is from the poem Doer. And if we know the line, we know the answer. Otherwise, it is to left out. In the Doer, what is the significance of the line? This was the last time when I saw, that is love, betrayal, longing, war, and answer is longing, conveys a deep longing. It reflects speaker's emotional pain over lost relationship or separation, fitting the poem's larger theme of enduring personal sorrow. This line highlights the human experience of heartache and memory. In the Doer, what does the speaker reflect on? Past sorrows and losses, future victories, love stories, nature. Past sorrow and losses is the answer. These recount the suffering of various legendary and historical figures. By comparing his own pain to theirs, he finds solace in the ideas that hardship is universal and temporary. Poems refrain that passed away so many, this reinforces the theme of endurance. What is the primary theme of heroism in Beowulf? Love, loyalty, revenge, friendship. Answer is loyalty. Beowulf's actions are driven by his allegiance to the kin and people. His bravery in the battling Grendel's mother, and the dragon reflect not just the personal valor, but a deep commitment to duty, honor, and the bonds of fealty in the warrior culture. What is the main antagonist? Answer is Grendel, antagonist villain. So very common question. And he is the one who terrorized King Hartager's Hall Herod. As a symbol of chaos and evil, Grendel represents a threat to social order and heroism. Beowulf's battle with Grendel showcases his strength, courage, and the heroic code central to the epic. The character of Grendel symbolizes in it that civilization, evil, and chaos, wisdom. Grendel is the enemy, so evil is the simple answer. He symbolizes evil and chaos. He portrays as a dark, malevolent force who attacks the peaceful hall of Herod and disrupting order and community. As a descendant of Cain, Grendel embodies sin and isolation, making him perfect antagonist to highlight Beowulf heroism and struggle between good and evil. Which character in Beowulf is known for his strength and bravery? Answer is hero, and that is Beowulf. The character for his strength is Beowulf. As the epic hero, he defeats formidable foes like Grendel, his mother, and dragon. His courage, physical power, and unwavering sense of duty embody the ideas of heroic code in Anglo-Saxon literature and culture. What is the primary setting of Beowulf? England, Scandinavia, France, England, and that is the setting question. Historical ground, that is Scandinavia, especially in the Rhines of Denmark and Gatland, modern day Sweden. The story unfolds in the courts of King Harthgar of the Danes and later in Beowulf's homeland among the Geats, reflecting the poem's northern European origin and warrior-based cultural backdrop. What is the main conflict in the Batten and Bolden? Love, war, betrayal, friendship. Answer is war. The poem recounts a historical battle between Anglo-Saxon forces led by Bermoth and invading Viking warriors. It explores central themes of honor, bravery, sacrifice, highlighting the heroic code as Anglo-Saxons choose to fight valiantly rather than retreat or surrender. What role does Christianity play in Dream of the Road? It is completely absent. Duality, again, the question is repeated. What literary device is prevalent in Beowulf? Metaphor, alliteration, simile, irony, and again, question repeated. Which character provides a voice of reason in Beowulf? Wingalf, Grendel, Harthgar, Beowulf, and answer is Harthgar. It provides a voice of reason. As the wise and aged king of the Danes, he offered Beowulf counsel on the dangers of pride and responsibility of leadership. His speech reflects moral insight and experience, grounding the poem's heroic action in the wisdom and ethical reflection. And these are the questions that we have. This is just the first part. And second part, we will come again with few more questions covering different parts and some important point which can be, but this is not the last. Many more part will come, and but till this moment we have only this. And here we end. We will come back with the second segment. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Thank you.